next to the new Central Station, which opened about a few years ago. And it was part of our City Lounge strategy. Actually, this is the foundation urban design plan of the inner city development. And part of it is a densification strategy.
During the Second World War, we had a bomb and we had a lot of fire, and the whole inner city of this was in fire. So all the places from there over to the market hall were gone. When you look over there, you see the modern buildings, but when you look over there, you see the old buildings, and a lot of European cities have a historical inner city, but we don't.
And the building right behind us, I think it's about 500 people living there now. In the last 10 years, we had a 10% increase of residents living in the city center.
More inhabitants is necessary for the economics of the city, and it's nice to be around people.
There used to be a lot of cars over here, all around. Only cars, no pedestrians, no room for all the bikes we have in this city. About 10, 15 years ago, we made a plan and we wanted to change this area into a city lounge. We wanted to increase the people using their bikes. We wanted to create green spaces everywhere around now in the city center. We wanted to have the car to pull back.
We invested in way more benches in public space. People who are buying stuff in the supermarket can drink and eat it in these one-seaters. You can turn them around and you can talk to people, or you could just sit there by yourself. This is our newest city park. It's part of the City Lounge strategy, in which we want to densificate the city center and at the same time to add more green, to create more public space for people. This square used to be completely paved, and as you can see now, there's people lying down in the grass, enjoying, dancing, children that are playing. There's even terraces, cafe, outside seating.
This says it's a pedestrian zone, but cycling is permitted. Fietsen toegestaan. Share now is 20%, and we want even to have it higher. One of the things we do to make cycling more convenient and more easy and more fast is to introduce all kinds of traffic light innovations. One of our traffic innovations is the heat sensor. The sensor is right over there, and what it does, if there is a big group of cyclists, it will be detected by a thermicam, a heat sensor, and the cyclists get more green time. And this is really very important in our transition from car city to more cycling city, because 4 years ago it wasn't possible to do that. Everything, all the traffic lights had to be in favor of cars.
This is the highway who split our inner city, our heart, with cars, and we want to make it better for pedestrians and bicycles. So it's more livable to be here. Now it's a transport street and you don't want to stay over here. In the middle there is a tram. The new plan is to remove 50% of the cars. At this side there will only be space for the car. At the other side there will be only space for pedestrians and for bicycles.
We're going to a large bike parking facilities in Rotterdam. There's one part that's free, and the other part you have to pay for it, and then somebody watches your bike also. About 5,000 bikes can be parked here, and this is the free section. It's easy to park your bike here because each row has a separate color, so you can find your bike when you come back easily. You can see here how many spots are left. The first row is full. 0 spaces, but when it's easily to find another row where you can park your bike, because you can see the free spaces there at the ceiling. From here the cyclists have direct access to the trams, metro and trains, so that's very convenient. What you see here are OV fiets. This is bike sharing system. If you come here by train, then you can hire a bike and for a couple of hours and go freely into the city. In the Netherlands you can take your bike into the train, but only outside the rush hours. It's especially interesting for the commuters, people who go to their work, arrive here at this station and have to go further on to the city. This is a card you use to pay for your tram, metro, bus and train. And you can also use this card to pay for the OV-fiets.
So this was the first pedestrianized shopping area of the world. It's called Lijnbaan. And from here on we started to expand the pedestrian area in the city center. It's not only about pedestrians, but since a couple of years we also introduced bicyclists to pass by after shopping hours, because it's a shortcut through the city and it enables cyclists to cycle through the city more faster.
I think that Rotterdam is the first real social cycling city with over 5,000 people now really involved, engaged in the biking policy. We ask questions, we set up polls on Facebook or Twitter or Instagram. People give us tips, they tell us what we can do better. For instance, a rain sensor, so you don't have to be in a traffic light for too long when it's raining. So one thing that has been developed over the last year is this do-it-yourself repair station. The Rotterdammers came up with this idea. They wanted to repair their bicycle in the city centre, but didn't have the tools with them. So they asked us and the municipality to install a do-it-yourself repair station.
I think it's very much interesting for the people to come here. People like it now. So 10 years ago we started, and I think we did a good job. We're not finished yet. We have a lot to do because the increase of bicycles here in the city is very high.
What is next is really this collective shift in the city that the inner city is for slow modes of transport, it's for clean modes of transport, and it's for people meeting each other and staying there. And that's a gradual process of also phasing out fossil mobility, making sure the cars get around the city and it's easy to get in with clean modes of transport. And that is really the next step. So it requires infrastructure changes, but also a lot of cultural changes.
It's public space, it's being an attractive city for people to be in and to enjoy themselves. City Lounge is creating a vital place for people to stay, meet and enjoy.